This here is a GMKtec. It is the K16. It is a mini PC. It's a very small mini PC. Never looks small on camera, but it's a very small mini PC. Very small from the top, a little bit thicker, but as a result, it's very impressive. This thing here is decked out with a 7735 HS processor, which is a couple generations old, but still very good. 8-core processor, modern, and you get the 680M graphics, so you're gonna be able to do things like gaming on it. That's very impressive. Nice little chassis here, upgradable storage, that kind of stuff there. Comes decked out also with good RAM, 32 gigabytes. The other thing is, despite the fact that it's small, it has very good cooling, you'll see when we get to the inside, and it has very good port selection. Just quickly looking here, we can see that they have two different models, just basically storage differences. I don't normally do too much pricing stuff, but the pricing is really quite good in this market. Things are really expensive right now. 32 gigabytes of RAM is like $300, to be honest. 1 terabyte of storage is like $150 to almost $200. So that's like the cost of the whole mini right there, covered by those two. So good for GMK for keeping their prices down. I'm not actually sure how they do it, but whatever, it's good for us. Specs here, I get the 32 gigabytes. That's fantastic. It does have the previous gen 7735 HS processor, which is still very good. It's an 8-core processor, 16 threads, and it does come with the 680M iGPU, which is very good. You can still use that. It'll work well. They do offer 3 performance modes. They're all good, to be honest. They work very well. This thing will still be capable at 35 watts, and of course a little bit more capable at 50 watts. Just basically pick the noise level that you want. Honestly, they're all pretty quiet as it is, but pick whatever is suitable for you. Now, port selection is very good on this. On the back, we have power, Kensington lock slot. We have 2 LAN, so we end up with redundancy. It's 2.5 gigabit, so that's good. 2 display out, very good. Fast USB-A, the fastest it can go. So that's good for even running like NVMe enclosures. A slower one, which is good for basically running USB dongles and that kind of stuff. Very good, like mouse and keyboard, whatever. Microphone, headphone combo jack. On the front here, we have 2 more fast USB-A. Fantastic. You get lots of fast ports here. You get USB4, which is going to be great for running very fast NVMe enclosures or full docks. Like if you need tons of extra storage, peripherals, that's where you're going to hook it up there. Or you can run an eGPU on the USB4 and get much more powerful dedicated graphics. I'm going to show that today. And fortunately, what really sells this for me outside of the other benefits is the fact that it has an Oculink port. Oculink is going to be faster for eGPUs. Basically, if you want max GPU performance, you're going to use that. And that will also unlock the USB4. So you can use them at the same time. You can have your eGPU hooked up, and then you can also have a full enclosure or something like that hooked up. And you can see here, they have a little cool infographic, but you can see with the USB4, yeah, you do lose some performance for sure. Around, they say 80% is probably roughly close to what I found in my tests over time. So if you're going to be getting normally 100 FPS off of whatever GPU you hook up to, you'll get me around 80, something like that. The Oculink is pretty close to 100%. They say 95 plus, and it's pretty standard. I find it actually technically a little bit better. So if you hook up a GPU, you're basically going to get that GPU as it was described. So I have an eGPU here that I'm going to be testing. It's up there. It's a 5060 Ti eGPU, very good, and it's a desktop one. That thing's going to be nice and fast. And in this video, I actually decided, kind of near the end of it, that I want to include this one here. This is my daily driver, the GMK GP1, 80 GP1, and this one here I hook up to my Legion Go S, and I use this. This is a 7600 MXT, and I use it for gaming. It's awesome. So very impressive. Let's jump in now, and we'll start the review. Okay, let's get inside of this here. So these are usually real easy to get into. Finger screw, that's double as the feet. And that just slides off. There you go. You get your metal exoskeleton there. And that's the component fan. So you can see, we have the 2 fans. There's one on the top there, which just kind of pulls air along this metal. Doesn't need a ton of air because this is basically just a component fan. So this is going to make sure that the SSDs and all that inside are very cool. On the flip side here, we have the big fan for the actual APU. And it's a nice big fan, honestly, it's a very small mini PC, right? A little bit thicker, but it's small and like in surface area on the top especially. But as a result, it does have a nice, very thick Z height on that fan there. Like that's a really thick fan, which means it's going to be moving a lot of air, despite the fact that this is a small mini PC. Okay, so that just comes up. And underneath there we have our internals. So very straightforward. We have NVMe 1, NVMe 2, it's TWSC, not sure what that brand is, but it's fine. 1 terabyte, Gen 3. upgradable Wi-Fi as well, and you get a second NVMe. So very, very easy to upgrade. Just take that off and pop it in. The RAM is not upgradable on the system. It's just on the board, but it's fine. It has a lot of RAM, so it's absolutely no issue here. I'm in this apocalypse where everything is super expensive. If we're getting into a system like this where the RAM is, you know, on board, you can't upgrade it, but it's a good amount, like 32 gigabytes. Who's going to complain now? Because RAM is super expensive. The internal NVMe here is going to be Gen 3 speeds, totally fine, upper tier Gen 3 type speeds. The front port there, the USB4 port, is clearly a USB4 port. I already knew this before I ran this because I've already tested the eGPU on it. Yeah, and the Wi-Fi here is good reception. Now I have terrible uploads in the place that I'm at. It's quite terrible, but it's just a temporary location. And so we can see here that the downloads are very fast. I mean, that's pretty much as good as I can get in my place. So tiny little box like that, and it's way across the house here. Like it's pretty far. I don't have any like close routers or anything like that, and it's getting good reception, so that's good. So all the synthetic benchmarks right off the bat are quite nice. We're getting really good performance, overall good noise, and all that kind of stuff. Right? You set it up here, for example, and you get a nice clean little package, just a tiny little box. It's actually very small, to be honest. It may not show up on camera. It always looks larger when you're filming it. It's just the way that it is, but it's a nice clean little package there. So that's very good. So let's jump in now to some benchmarks. I've already run a bunch, but we'll just run some more, to be honest. So the first thing we're going to do here is noise. There's a moment of the person not sawing a house in half, so let's see. It is almost completely silent. There's the tiniest amount of fan going. Like, you can't hear it. Like, you'd have to really strain your hearing to hear it. Let's come in here before this person starts hammering again, see what we can get here for noise. So under full load you can hear it, but it's actually a very pleasant fan, if that's such a thing. It's more like white noise in the background. It's not whirring, not going woo 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 or no tss, anything like that. It's just a nice fan in the background. We got just enough of a break where we could squeeze that in. That's good, thankfully. Okay, so we're running this through here. You can see that the previous run, we'll just give it a sec to catch up, was 12,159. That's a full run. I went all the way through a full run on this thing, and versus a short run. So short run was 200-300 higher, which is that little bit of initial burst, and then it goes down to 12,100. Now that's very good. That is very good. You can do anything really with that there. If you're going to be doing even like heavy type stuff, like coding type stuff, compress, decompress, that kind of stuff, it's still going to be very fast. Obviously it's not going to beat out a 9950X desktop or something like that, obviously, but for daily demanding tasks, that's quite good. I do video editing on a machine that's similar to this in terms of the CPU compute, so that's good. Very nice. You have no problems there. It's an 8-core processor, 16-thread, modern processor, so you have no problems there whatsoever. Wattage is there. You can see, we were sitting at a peak of 45. We'll go like that there. I just didn't catch it, so we'll go like that, 45. Idle down to, very low, obviously, on the CPU, 3 or 4 watts once we get idle down. Mini PCs. Sometimes mini PCs, like when they're smaller mini PCs, which I'm fine with, but some of them they'll cap them out at 30 watts for a peak. The advantage of that is it'll run very quiet and very cool. Very easy to keep 30 watts cool and quiet with like a really small mini PC. GMK, they do focus on having generally higher performance than a lot of their competitors in the same size, so they're going to give it those extra watts. So you're going to be getting that 40 watts there, which allows it to have a little bit more performance. If you were down to 30 watts, you'd be more like at about 10,000 for Cinebench over here. So it does give you that extra performance. Of course, it produces a tiny bit more noise, but if you're doing a pure heavy CPU task, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Now, video editing on this is going to be quite capable, but we'll come in here. I mean, you bring in, this is a 4K 60 video, 26 minutes, big video, and, it's processing right away. We're already able to, scrub through like that. It's nice and quick, right? So you can see here it's snappy. I mean, snappy enough for what it is. It's not going to beat out a big gaming. There now it's fully audio processed. So 26 minute took, what did that take? 20 seconds or something like that to get fully processed, where it's going to be, you can do whatever you want with it. So that's that there. Now, when you do things like export, of course, editing is going to be fast, like I said. The export, you are going to have access to that iGPU, the AMD video coding engine. It's going to be totally fine. Now, it's not going to be as fast as like a dedicated GPU. That doesn't make sense. It's not going to do that. But I've done most of my channel, I would say, probably, if you look at statistically, like proportionally, how many videos have I done on an iGPU versus dedicated graphics? More have been done on iGPUs, like for sure, like by a lot probably. So you can come in here. This is a 5-minute 4K 60 video, 2 tracks, and typically I find with this level of iGPU, a 680, it's almost 1-to-1 approximately. So what is the average YouTube video length? I think nowadays it's between 8 and 13 minutes, something like that. So generally speaking, once you get the editing and you're going to export it, you should be looking at around 8-ish minutes or something to export this video, right? If it was an 8-minute video. Mine here is 5 minutes, so it should be closer to 5 minutes, to be honest, something like that. So we'll just cut in when it's done exporting. We'll see how fast it is. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'll just plug in this eGPU, and I'll show you that. Okay, and as expected, it's just closing up here, but we can see, right, it's going to be basically exactly 5 minutes, as I said. It's basically 1-to-1. I find that with iGPUs, you typically get a 1-to-1 export time, as long as they're a modern iGPU. Thunderbolt 5, and it also accepts Oculink. This thing here does both as well. So I can plug this eGPU directly into the USB4 there, and then get, good bandwidth. I took this off. Get some good bandwidth on it, and it will be nice, acceptable performance boost, like honestly quite a bit. So USB4 is still gonna be, with a 5060 Ti, is gonna be massively faster than what the iGPU can do here, obviously. So that's good. Obviously you're gonna get a big performance boost. It's just a little bigger, why not? So anyway, so that's plugged in there. We'll just unplug the screen like this. Like that, we'll plug it into the external graphics. Okay, come back up. So now we're running on the eGPU, which has a 5060 Ti. Okay, so we'll just literally do that same thing, but now we're going to do it with the NVIDIA graphics. Again, you could use that. You could use this over here. This is something that I use all the time. Like I literally use this every day, this one here. You should pick one of these up too. I did a review of it. It's a really good product. It does Oculink and USB4. So depending on which product you have, I use USB4 for my Legion Go S because it doesn't have Oculink, but I've used this for a long time with Oculink based devices and handhelds and that too. So it's a great product. And it's affordable. Anyway, so now we have NVIDIA NBEC 5060 Ti. I mean, it's not a 5090 or something, but it's fast. It's 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So this thing's going to just rip through, even with USB4, right? This is not Oculink, it's USB4, but it's still going to be very fast. We'll come in here, just give it a sec. Right, you can see just how much faster it's going. Again, so you can rock this thing on the iGPU, and it's very capable without any problems, or you can hook up an eGPU. Both of these will be faster than the iGPU, even the 7600 MXT, which is not as fast as that in any way. It's just not as fast. It's still a dedicated graphics that's somewhere around a 4060 level performance. So this thing would still be very fast on that there. But you can see here, I mean, we're looking at under I was going to say under a minute, but it might be like exactly a minute. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be so close. 59. Oh, it's going to be exactly a minute. That's funny. Minute and 1 second. All right. Whatever. Anyway, so it's going to be real fast. Okay, so here we are now. We're back. We're using the USB4 for gaming. Obviously, not as fast as Oculink. We'll show that in a moment. But we're also, the settings are massively higher. So here we're at 4K. We can turn that up even more. So we're using transform model. Might as well turn it up. Something like that. I mean, 4K is a bit much for a 5060 Ti. It's not really designed for that, but it's more of a 1440p, but I'm just show you. It's just whatever. So we're at high, as you can see. So we're at high at 4K with scaling. And this is kind of where we're going to be at. Balanced type scaling, right? It's running well. It's like 45 to 50 or whatever. Again, this is a bit much for a 5060 to be at 4K. 5060 Ti, sorry, to be at 4K. So we can come down. We can go, oops, I didn't mean to do that. And to do this, we can come over here, turn it down to 1440p instead. Now that's going to be much more capable. And this CPU will have no problems driving a GPU of this caliber, like at all. Right? It's really just not going to struggle. And here we should be able to maintain somewhat better performance. Again, we're going with just over USB4, but this is very high. It's high preset. Right? It's going to be very playable. We're not on low or anything like that, so it's going to run quite well, obviously. So what we're going to do now is we'll kick out one more time, and we'll do it with Oculink. Okay, now with Oculink, it's a little bit different. You do actually need to come in here. We're going to kill this off. So you can come in here. With Thunderbolt and USB4, you can actually disconnect like this. This will kill the display because we're only plugged into the GPU. Okay, so that's that there. Now, to actually get Oculink to work, you do have to actually turn off both. Like so. Turn on the GPU, turn on this. And the Oculink is going to give us better bandwidth than USB4. So this will just run faster. Okay, now here we are back, and we're at those same settings that we started with, which were a little too high on the USB4. It was still fine, but it was a little too high. So you can see 4K, balance scaling, and we're in high. And so here, we're going to be basically giving the GPU what it wants. And you can see huge jump in performance, right? So that's one of the nice things about these. I mean, I love myself an eGPU, right? eGPUs are great, and USB4 is great. It's nice and you basically just plug it in, right? It's nice and it can be in a lot of devices, but there's something to be said about Oculink, right? Oculink is going to give us way better performance, and you can see the drops there. I mean, there are still some drops, but they're way less common, right? We're getting 50 to 60 pretty frequently there, and this is like a really demanding area of the game. A little bit here, we can come down again. We're at 4K, and as I said before, it's the 5060 Ti is not quite a 4K. You can, but you're going to need some scaling. It's not designed for that. And there's, that's a little bit more scaling now. And I think we should be able to maintain 55 or above here with that extra performance. Actually, even in the worst case, we're above 60. So, there you go. Finally, it dropped down. Yes, this is pretty good, right? You can see that we're able to get really good performance here. So, obviously, you're going to get excellent performance. It's going to run quite well. The last thing I want to do here is I'm going to show you what the iGPU can do now. Okay, so how about the iGPU? Well, it can game. It's a 680M, so that'll put it a little bit faster than a Steam Deck. So if you can play a Steam Deck, if you can play it on a Steam Deck, you can play it on this, basically. Because again, it's going to be a little bit faster than a Steam Deck. Now, if you want, this is Windows, so Windows will give you not quite the same performance as Steam, obviously. If you want to get the best performance, you can actually install Linux on these type of things, or SteamOS, something like that, and then you'll get better performance. Because in a situation like this, I mean, you're going to be dealing with Windows essentially. Lots of memory on this as well. You can see the VRAM's maxed out, but we have extra system memory as well, and you'll get good performance, right? It's going to look weird on this screen because it's a 4K screen and I'm all the way at 1080p, but you can game at 1080p, you can game at 800p, and you'll get essentially the same performance as a Steam Deck. Like I said, Steam Deck, what's the Steam Deck resolution here? I guess it's 800p, is that right? So it'll look a little weird based on the aspect ratio, but we'll go 720p probably. It's basically the same as a Steam Deck, something like that. And like I said, whatever the Steam Deck can do, this can do, plus technically a little bit more, because it's the CPU is a little bit more powerful than a Steam Deck, and the GPU is a little bit more powerful than a Steam Deck, just so you know. The Steam Deck does not hit 680M performance or 7745HS CPU performance. It's not quite there. It's okay, but it's not quite there. So just be aware that whatever you can play, like I said, you'll be able to do here. This is Windows, so you are dealing with some of the limitations of Windows, but that's fine. I mean, Windows is okay. It's just not quite as efficient, but we have all that extra VRAM. If you did really want to turn this into a pure gaming little thing, yeah, you can install SteamOS or something like that, or Bazite, and get a little bit of extra performance. It should run quite well, obviously. You get a little bit of a performance bump. But even in things like Windows, you're going to be able to do gaming. But if you really want, right, you can hook in these type of things and get some extra. So let's wrap it up. You know what? Screw it. We're going to do the GMK one because I have it, I own it, I use it all the time, and it's the same brand. So, I mean, why not? Okay, now we're running over this, as you can see, the GMK. Which, the nice thing about this is this uses AMD drivers, and so does this. It only took, 5 minutes to install NVIDIA drivers. You just had to go through the process, and you can have NVIDIA and AMD drivers on the same machine. It's not a problem. All right, so here is the GMK. So now we're at 1440p, not 4K, but we're at 1440p. I also turned the setting up. So we went from 1440p up to, 800p, 720p, all the way up to 1440p, so a huge jump in resolution. We also went from very low up all the way up to medium here. So I think we're going to be getting, 60 without 60-ish. There's a drop there, but it should be around 60-ish gameplay, right? This thing is very comfortable at 1440p. Ooh, chill out there, spider. Yeah, as you can see here, very good. So this little GMK thing, the eGPU, is very good. You can see why I use it all the time and why I've hung on to it. It's very good, right? It's a beast at 1080p. obviously, but 1440p and anything that's not the most demanding recent games is going to fly. But even on those games, you can just run some scaling, and you're going to be good. It's a very good, very, very, very good little thing. Look at this, rock solid too, right? Not getting, there's going to be a drop eventually, but so far we're getting really good lows actually. That was the lowest I've seen so far, 53. Yeah. Come on. Okay, that's good. And that's the, I can't remember the name of it. Is it GP1? We're off. Yeah, GP1. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I have a full review of this, and I use it every single day, or almost every single day. Whenever I use my Legion, I use this. It's fantastic. So get that, and this is something you can check out. It might be a little harder to find now because it's now a little over a year old, but if I can find some links to this too, I'll put some links in the video description down below as well for that. Of course, I'll put some for this too, but this thing's really good. I like this a lot. Okay, let's wrap it up. Very straightforward. It's good. Good CPU, 7735HS. It's so good that AMD just keeps bringing it back. It's a good CPU, right? It's 8 cores, 16 threads. It's been around for a long time. It's efficient. It's effective. iGPU in here, 680M, very capable. Obviously, you're going to be able to do things like video editing, that kind of stuff, no problems. Anything that's, AAA titles from a few years ago are going to fly on this thing. Anything that's very modern, 2025, 6, it'll work. You're just going to be lower settings, but it'll work just fine. Anything that's not AAA will just be crushed by that GPU, so that's good. And then, of course, you do get access to USB4 or Oculink. If you need to hook up more graphical power like this here, you can really make this thing a lot more powerful very easily, or get a dock, like a dedicated dock, hook it up. That's very awesome. Good port selection on it, metal design, nice quiet fans, runs cool, clean little thing. You get it with the RAM on the board, which means you're getting into a 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is awesome, especially in this market. So that's it. That's the GMKtec K16. I really like it. I'll put some links in the video description down below to this one here. Like Amazon and maybe some other storefronts, official storefronts, that kind of stuff. If I can find affiliate links, I will use affiliate links because they help my channel a lot. So we'll put those down below where possible. I don't take sponsors ever, so I buy most of the stuff even when they send over loan, like these type things, like these review samples. I'm not taking money for it or anything like that. So and YouTube itself does not pay that well, so I do use affiliate links where possible, so you can purchase stuff. That'll help me out. Don't have to, but it'll be nice. If I can find any, this is a little bit older, but if I can find any for this, I'll put this down below. This thing is the go. It's so good, so I'll put those down below. But that's the product there. It's very good in this market especially. This is a great way to get into excellent computing with a lot of capability without breaking the bank. And the other thing is you can support these companies that, these guys are probably the highest risk of any company in terms of, the PC space right now, of struggling with the cost of RAM and storage going up. It's tough for them. So these are the companies we want to support because, for one thing, we want them to be around. The other thing is these cost a lot less than getting a desktop alternative, right? So you're able to get into good computing for a low cost, support these companies. And with the Oculink and the USB4, something like this is going to have legs to go forward.